The essay on man is considered to be Pope's most meaningful poem. However, it would be wrong to suggest that it is just a poem. It is, in fact, a combination of an essay and a poem. It is a poem as far as its form and style is considered. However, when we focus on the gravity of thought and the depth of philosophical ideas, it looks much like a literary essay, which is more universal in appeal and approach. That is why it is rightly termed as an essay in poetic form. The purpose of this essay, in Pope's own words, is to, quote, vindicate the ways of God to man, unquote. Clearly, Pope's idea is lofty and hence a sublime poem for all of us to read and learn much from. This unique blending of essay and form is actually expressed in four poetical epistles. This epistle, addressed to Henry St. John, talks about man's relation to God and makes an objective and interesting analysis of the complex nature of man. The poem starts abruptly. It straightway challenges man's ego, which he exhibits in displaying his knowledge of God. It is obvious that all of us feel that we are the chosen creatures of God. We also assume that we have been formed after God and know fully well what He is and what He wants from us. The poet, however, does not believe in any such assumptions. He feels that it is beyond man to understand the ways of God. Therefore, it is more appropriate for him to concentrate on himself. That is, Pope wants man to observe his own complexities, confusions, and contradictions rather than talking about God and his ways. After giving his strong message to us, Pope gives a very appropriate description of man's complex nature, desires, and actions. He finds man to be wise and great, but he is only darkly wise and rudely great. Now, Pope is known for his epigrams, the purpose of which is to highlight the paradoxes in man's nature. Pope looks at man's nature with admirable clarity and feels that all the greatness that man possesses is ruined because he is rude and unaware of his own pursuits in life. That is why, though man may be wise, his wisdom is of no use because of his inner darkness. Moreover, a great man can never be rude, and since Pope calls man great and rude together, he suggests that man cannot be great because he is by nature rude. Continuing his precise observation of man's complex nature, Pope feels that man always tries to do things beyond his capacities. He finds him full of knowledge which does not help him. Moreover, he also finds him too weak to be successful as a Stoic. Pope then concentrates on the dilemma that man experiences as because of his complex and contradictory drives. Man lives in doubt forever. He does not know whether to act or rest. He also is always in doubt whether to see himself as a god or a beast, because he is a combination of the both. It is in this sense that Pope finds man to be dangling in between God and beast. The poet further highlights man's sense of confusion as he always seems to be torn between the desires of his body and instructions of his mind. Caught between these two extremes, man cannot decide what to prefer, his body or his mind. Hence, though man applies reason before taking action, he fails and errs because his reasoning is faulty and awkward. The poet further looks at man's situation with sympathetic irony. He finds man to be ignorant even if he thinks too much or too little. Obviously, Pop does not believe that those who think too much can reach a level of understanding as to what they are and what they are supposed to be doing in life. Pop finds man to be created with such complexities that he can rise but only to fall. Because of his inner contradictions, man becomes a curious combination of weakness and strengths. Due to his strengths, he aspires to rise above his nature, but because of his weakness, he fails to do so. Therefore, man appears to be a lord of all things, but still he is a victim. Thus, in spite of all his greatness, he is only a riddle, for he is a curious blending of different traits, virtues, and shortcomings. Because of all the confusing mixture, man is both the glory as well as the joker of the world.